The opinion expressed here do not necessarily reflect the views of the network production company. Viewer discretion is advised. This program contains violent content which may be too intense for some viewers and listeners. Listener discretion is advised. This week on Serial Killers, Supernatural and Murderers. The opinion expressed here do not necessarily reflect the view. Hey Blaine, hey guys.
What's up? What's
I
up?
worked on that front thing and then it still messed up. I'm gonna have it ready. Okay. I'm gonna just put it in here and then yeah, because that was not the right one. So hey everybody.
We could talk about him again.
Yeah, we'll do it again in a minute. Maybe we'll take a break in a second because we've got some crazy.
Oh yes, we do.
Crazy stuff going tonight. Tonight we're talking about Ed Gein, also known as there's Gwen, also known as America's first psychopath.
Yeah, he was that.
And y'all, this man crazy.
Oh, let me tell you what he
inspired. Wow,
Okay, let me tell you what he inspired. Okay, Silence of the Lambs.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn you up, Blaine. Give me just a second, because
sorry.
You're working with that voice. Bless your heart. Let's see if that's any better.
I am so sorry. I had 5 minutes when we came on the show. I had a perfect voice, and it goes away. Okay. I'm just so effing pissed. This 5 weeks now. This is bullshit. Okay.
Well, maybe you can't help it.
I know, but it's affecting our show, and I don't like that.
Just keep rolling.
All right. What I was saying. Okay. What inspired was like Silence of the Lambs, which the original book was called Manhunter, and then it was changed to Silence of the Lambs. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre was inspired by it, and Psycho was inspired by this movie. So, by this dude, yeah.
Let's see if I can do the opening. Let's see if I got it right this time. Let's just see if Lee got it right, because I want to have that big sign.
He's determined.
Yes, because we're going to break the internet tonight, and we got to have this, this disclaimer.
Yeah.
John Douglas, a former FBI special agent and criminal profiler, said that a serial killer is the human manifestation of evil in its most pure form. This reflects the chilling nature of serial killers as seen through the lens of a criminal psychologist. This is an 8-week special. Don't miss it on All Access Network Television. Okay, that's a little better. And at the end, it's supposed to say Ed Gein. All right. Hey, Sean, thank you. And Candy, thank you for coming.
Hi, y'all.
We're going to have a lot of people. I've shared it all out there.
Got to do that too now.
Yeah, thank you for sharing it out there for me, Gwen.
Yeah, thank you, Gwen.
You're welcome. I'm trying to do it while I'm doing my other show. So
yeah, she was
producer extraordinaire.
Yes, she is.
I love you for that. Thank you.
Yes, she's like the lady behind the curtain instead of the man.
Yeah.
All right, so
the great and wonderful Mrs. Oz.
There, that's me, man.
All right, so I've got 13 slides for us. Here we go. The first one.
Oh, say it.
All right. In Plainfield, Wisconsin, a hardware store owner, Bernice Warden, went missing. They became suspicious when her son informed investigators that Gein was there the day before to get a gallon of antifreeze. Investigators searched, I guess that says Givens property. I thought her name was Warden.
No, that they were searching Gein's property as dispelled.
Okay, it's just a typo. I didn't type that, so it's
That's all
okay. And found Warden's decapitated body hung up by her wrists in a shed with crossbar at her ankles, and her body was dressed like a deer. And so here is the demented Edward Theodore Gein.
He just looks creepy.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I get the shivers.
Mm-hmm. He was a very slight guy. He wasn't very tall. That's why a lot of times they kind of pawned him off as just the fix-it guy around town.
Yeah.
And like, oh, he couldn't hurt a fly, or But I think the social awkwardness of him really comes from his upbringing, which we'll probably get into soon.
Definitely.
Well, Pee Wee Gaskin is a little fella. Charles Manson's a little fella.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe there's something to the Napoleon complex, I guess.
Yes. All right, now let's see what this next slide is. Okay, go. Okay, so he died in 1984 in Madison, Wisconsin. He was known as the Mad Butcher, convicted for murder, sentenced to life in the Medonta Mental Health Institute. Two officially confirmed victims, Bernice Worden and Mary Hogan. All right, now, what led him into this? I mean, what was his stressor?
Mother.
Yeah.
It was his mother.
Blaine's exactly right. And I think the mother was very protective. So a lot of people don't know Ed Gein had an older brother, and they were both brought up. The father was an alcoholic and all that, but the mother was very religious to the point where she didn't want her kids being around the evil other people. So they were very sheltered. She kept them away from everything, never let them go to friends' houses or anything like that. So they never really had anything. But you're talking about where it all started was the psychosis of some people when they're brought up that way, when you're overprotective. There's a thing is you're underprotected by your parents and you're overprotected by your parents. It could go either way. And I think with Gein, him and his brother went two different ways.
Yeah.
His older brother found, hey, this isn't right. I'm going to rebel against it. And Ed became infatuated, with his mother, put her on a pedestal. Yep. And that's kind of where a lot of it starts going that direction at a young age.
So what caused him to want to fiddle with the dead?
I don't know if you want to take that, Blaine.
Well, my thinking of it is like he did do a lot of taxidermy stuff for other people, and I think that's how he learned to do this. And he thought, well, if I could do this to an owl or a cat, why can't I do it to a human?
Mm-hmm. It is. It's almost the same thing as Dahmer. Dahmer was the same thing. Learned taxidermy with dead animals, and how his father would go with him and find these animals for him to do stuff.
I learned taxidermy with my dad.
Yeah.
And I don't. Yeah. And
look out for Lee Triana. Lee's a serial killer.
Run.
I'm running in a minute.
But that goes to show you is Lee went the right way, and you never know with the criminal mind the trauma that leads to that, and Ed being away from really society, the mother keeping him away, he was socially awkward. He didn't know how to interact or anything like that. And you have those things like the taxidermy, those solo things that he did, and he needed to feed that, at a younger age.
So when he was on his own, now he gets to play and fiddle and dig up, and there's nobody there to stop him.
Yeah.
And so, he's digging stuff up, and y'all, this man is nasty. Y'all, this man is nasty.
Oh, man, nasty.
We have an hour to peel back one of the most unbelievable cases in Onions that you'll ever try and peel back. This is one of those, you got to do a lot of stuff to really.
Dude, it's like this
guy. So
I'm sorry.
Matt's in the room, guys.
Hi,
I'm
Matt.
sorry if I stepped on somebody. I'm having a little trouble hearing. I think I'm nursing an ear infection. I've got some tea tree oil going.
Yeah.
See if that's going to help me. But anyway, he just said that he felt that maybe this was Ed Gein's way because he had social anxiety, just like Ed Kemper.
Yeah.
Maybe this is his way, just like Ed Kemper's way of being able to deal with people in his controlled environment.
Yeah. Well, you got to figure too, like he was so isolated that he was like in the movie The Water Boy. You know, he ain't got what they call the social skills. He had none.
He didn't got no social skills.
He could not just go and like to me or you would go, okay, I'd like an ice cream cone, or I'd like a loaf of bread. He couldn't do that. He might just go bread. Just say it real low under his voice, because that's how much social anxiety he had around other people.
I'm going to switch subjects for just a second. I see my dear friend Rex Nielsen in the chat.
Hi,
Rex. Just had reverse shoulder surgery. So everybody say a prayer for Rex. He was supposed to have had it earlier, and his surgeon was sick. So now it's put him dealing with this at Christmas. So, nastiness on that. And, we're supposed to have some weird weather rolling in. So please do what the doctor says, Rex. I know you're like 6'1" million, and you're a big man and all these things, and a cop, retired, all these things, but that doesn't mean that your bones don't heal like everybody else's. Little sister's telling you.
Be good.
Now listen to this one. Chris Weeks, he said, "Hey, boo buddies," and Chris is saying he'd love to see the show do Pee Wee Gaskin, and we are.
Yes.
We are. It's coming.
Dang it, Lee. I was gonna mess with him. Tell him we already did him.
Oh yeah. Darn it! We already did him, Chris. You missed it. Oh,
back on YouTube. Go back. Go back.
Actually, we did do a show on him, but it's been a while back.
We did do him a while back. And Rex said, "Love you all. I am at home. So good job.
Good home.
Just relax, throw your feet up, chill out, watch some either serial killer, ghost, or Christmas movies.
Just watch us right now. That's all you got to do right now.
That's right. And Mark is saying, always trust doctors, especially the ones endorsed by the government, and never listen to the ones that the government says are wrong. Right. Just like those drones are not really happening. Anyway, don't get me started.
Okay.
Let me get off of that.
My voice would come back too. Yeah. Okay.
I'm ready for you I'm just going to get you some whiskey or something. Make you.
I've tried that. Ain't nothing works. Like 5 minutes we come on.
Have some of this rabbit hole stuff that's in here.
Dude, I swear to God,
tell you what's in my cup.
I was over here, just perfect voice, and as soon as Lee hit the camera on me, he goes, "Nope, not today, stupid."
It's all Lee, man. It's all Lee.
Well, I can hear you pretty good, Blaine. You sound good to me, my brother.
My best,
you look better, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You looking sharp.
I feel fine. It's just I can't freaking talk. It's aggravating the shit out of me.
Poor thing.
Okay, we talked about that one. All right, here's number 3. All right, I'm about to break the internet. Everybody, call everybody that you know and get them to come on, because this is it. We're about to break it, and we are on YouTube, so I've had to say unalive instead of,
That's
okay. So there were whole human fragments, and there were waste baskets made of this stuff.
Yep.
This stuff.
Yep.
And also this stuff was covering several chair seats. And he had these on his bedposts. And he had women these with the tops cut off. I'm having to do this so we don't get thrown off, YouTube and stuff.
I know.
And, there was a corset made, from a, figure of a human form. Okay. Yep. And leggings made from,
this stuff.
We can't say skin. Really?
Well, I just don't want it to get kicked off. Now, he had, I'm just going to say it. He had Mary Hogan's face in a paper bag.
Oh, nice.
Her skull was in a box.
Yeah.
Her whole entire head was in a burlap sack, and her heart was in a plastic bag in front of Gein's pot-bellied stove. Now, what was he going to do with that there? I think he
Supper.
was making dinner.
Yeah.
I really
Well, there
do.
was no evidence. There was no evidence of him being.
Cannibal, I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's all that was next.
Yeah.
He
It
had
could
a
have been.
young girl's dress, which means a young girl was in it. And he made a belt from human nipples. He had 4 noses mounted, a pair of lips on a window shade drawstring.
Oh, what?
I told you I was breaking the internet. A lampshade made from the skin of a human face,
Yeah.
and fingernails from female fingers. Y'all,
Mhm.
Interesting.
y'all,
Did y'all say cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Good
Yeah.
there
God.
it is.
And then some.
But
Very nice.
Talk about
The worst part is he was trying to make a whole soup
Yes.
in the image of his mom so he could climb in and become his mom.
Yes.
That's where the psycho thing comes in. So.
Yep.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was because he wanted a sex change, maybe, or something.
No.
No.
He wanted
Well,
to.
maybe
He
he wanted
wanted,
both.
he wanted to absorb into his mother.
Yeah.
It was no
He
sex
liked her
change,
that
no.
much.
No,
But
he was
it
like
shows
Ricky
you.
Fruit Loops.
It shows you with
Oh, excuse
him.
me. Excuse me.
With him and all that, he was so. The house was a pigsty.
Yeah.
There's stuff all over the place. All the stuff they found, just that hoarder type of mentality, almost in a
Y'all,
way.
I'm nauseated now.
But his mom's room was locked, and when they opened it, it was perfectly preserved, clean,
Yeah.
everything. Just the total opposite of the house.
Sure was.
It
And that was,
just
you're
goes
right.
to show
That was
you.
the only room in the house that
Yeah.
was upkept. It was not dusty. It was not dirty. But the
Yeah.
rest of the house, he said, it looked like hoarder's heaven in there.
Yeah.
I've seen actual crimes and photos of it. And
Yeah.
when I see he had shit everywhere, he had shit everywhere.
Yeah. It was disgusting. And
Oh yeah.
and the good thing is the property's there, but that house has been destroyed. I think it was by fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was burned down.
Well, let's see if
Yeah,
that burned
somebody
down.
didn't want that to be around anymore, and
That's
somebody
No,
went
who
out of the
would
way
want
to do
that?
it.
Oh,
Okay, let's look at slide.
mob went and burned the house down. Sorry,
Who
Yeah.
did?
a lynch mob.
Yeah,
After
I'll
he,
tell you who did it after. Let's show the.
Slide 6.
Yeah.
All right, so Gein was found not guilty by reason of insanity. You think?
yeah,
Oh my God. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia. His house was set to become a tourist attraction, Jesus, but was mysteriously burned down in 1958. On July 26th, the psychopath Gein died of respiratory failure due to lung cancer at Medonta Mental Health Institute. And there's the name misspelled again, and that's from a copy paste thing. Gein's car, which was used to carry the body of his victims, was sold to a carnival sideshow.
Oh.
Now, there was a big thing. Where's Gein's car? Where's Gein's car? Well, they found it. The sideshow paid $760 for it.
wow.
Oh my God.
That's a lot back
And
then.
went on tour with it. And Gein was considered the first real American psychopath.
Yeah,
Okay, and this is what Blaine was saying. Great that you said it at the beginning, because it was a precursor to everything.
Yeah.
Gein's story has been the inspiration behind many classic horror movies, such as American Horror Story, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho, and Silence of the Lambs.
Yep.
Okay, and just to go with it, boom. Remember Ed Gein? See his car. Grave robbing murderer.
Mhm.
It's here, Ed Gein's car. And then there was like $1,000 reward to try to find it. But anyway, It shocked the nation. And it says, see the car that was mauled. And so that was their ad, to go into that freak sideshow thingy they had. Yep.
Well, just so you know, when the house burned down, I'm going to tell you, it was a controlled fire.
oh yes,
yeah.
And I think the reason being is one of the victims, I don't forget which one of the ones that he murdered that was accused of, had a relative that was the chief of the fire department in town.
Oh, okay.
He's
Well,
correct.
thank God.
Fire,
Thank God. Thank
they
God.
wanted to make sure that their relative wasn't remembered that way, and they burned that place down before it became a tourist attraction.
Well, you know what's funny? There was a guy, I can't remember his name. He did a paranormal investigation on that property.
Yeah.
And actually had 2 of the victims come through on an EVP session.
Mm-hmm.
And he had Ed Gein's mother come through.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. Not cool, but to me it's cool because the thing kept saying, Ed's always bad. Ed is always bad. Ed is always bad. I'm like, oh shit, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Guys, I wish I could turn on the ghost box now and see if we could, like bring her here and see what she had to say. Wouldn't that
I
be
wonder if we'd
bad?
be able to do that. I wonder if enough of us talking about this and enough
I mean,
energy
we're
would
sending
bring
the
her through.
energy out.
Yeah.
I guarantee if you
never know. That probably that makes some
somebody
good.
come through.
Yeah, that makes some good.
And Randy just said, I would love to remote that location. And that's what I just said. We're all on the same wavelength. Where's my phone?
I forget what the guy's name was. The show was, they had Cindy Kayza on it too.
Yeah.
It was Cindy Kayza, and the guy, he's like a Midwest and all that. He's actually a rapper, believe it or not.
God.
He did like music and all that. But this guy's he's the real deal, and he does like some episodes, and a lot of people don't know him is because I think he is the real deal. We forget about who the people are.
I know he actually got to go into the store of where that woman, the hardware store, he went in there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's still a hardware store. I think it's another business now.
Yeah, I think it's something I forget. Where I was looking into a few things. I forget exactly what it is, but
I don't remember either. It was like some kind of repair shop or something, or
maybe somebody watching right now could chime in and let us know what it is now. If
Anybody know what it is?
Yeah, just have them Google it real quick and all that. It'd probably be kind of cool to know. I forget what it is.
All right, so we are. Hold on, I'm trying to get to the warning, graphic photos. If you're going to get sick, don't get sick on your laptop. Just go ahead and click off, and you can come back in about another 30 minutes, and there'll be another show. But here's what we got for you: graphic photos. Yeah. All right, let me get this cut down, and I've got my thingamadoodle on, telling everybody. So it's up to you now.
Yep.
Okay, so here is the cereal. Yep. So this is Ed Gein soup bowl, and that is a woman's skull, and he's fixed it up to where it stands upright, and he actually ate out of that, and all right. So that was gross. This is a mask that he made out of someone's face.
And look, it's
got some kind of bone holding it up.
It's a spinal bone holding it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Okay, I'm going to get the rest of them. I'm just getting real nauseated.
You're feeling the energy from it.
Ground now.
Yes.
It's crazy how you can feel energy from stuff that happened years ago. And then when you see it, you could feel the energy and remember the story like you're going through it all over again. It's the supernatural part of what we do on this show.
Yes, this is the supernatural part. All right. So there's the mask and the soup and the spoon and the fork that he made of, I guess that's the arm bones. What is that?
Ulnar, like a radius, maybe?
Radius,
ulnar, something.
And see the face, and here's the ear in the thing. I don't know what's in the cylinder, that cylinder tube. It looks like ashes. No, it's an ear.
That's an ear.
I knew he had 4, so he has 1, 2. There's 3 ears there.
Oh.
And did you see the right?
He just wanted somebody to listen to him, I guess. I don't know.
Did you look at the picture?
Got to put a little humor in this so you guys don't get as sick.
Oh, you're so funny.
Little serial killer humor.
Look at the picture on the far right. That's a picture of Ed Gein with something on it. Watch.
Yes, it was. So Randy wants to know if this was done while they were alive. No, it wasn't.
Well, he killed them. He tortured them, then killed them. So a lot of them he did actually skin alive before they died.
Some of them were folks he dug up at the cemetery and mutilated. But what Blaine said is right. Okay. Oh, this guy's saying yes. So yeah, there was that too. I mean, the things that were done. How would we ever know what was done when they were alive and when was dead? You know, because it's all it's just a big old mess. There's no way to know.
Well, it's a lot with whenever Ed Gein decided to let the detectives know what he did when they questioned him and all that.
All right, are you guys ready for the belt?
Oh yeah.
Yes, those are human nipples.
Yep. The nipple belt.
The nipple belt.
Wow.
I didn't know anything about the nipple belt until recently. I was doing this other podcast where we were talking about serial killers, and the guy I was on with says, "Oh, you hear about the nipple belt?" And I was like, "How do I know that?" And then I had to look it up and all that. I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "That's just so weird."
That's
you
funny.
That you would use nipples to make a belt.
That's the first thing I knew about.
It looks metal. Why does that look metallic? Did he dip it in something?
Yes.
Something
Spray painted it.
Spray painted.
Yep.
Damn.
It's got gold spray paint on it.
Looks like he's got like wiring to connect the nipple.
Luna.
Yeah.
There's Blaine right there. He's right
Hello,
there.
Taterhead.
There
She loves you so much.
Here we go.
All right, so
lands once occupied by the Gein farm was bought at the auction by a private buyer. Luna? Here, Lee.
Okay, wait a minute. The land once occupied by the Gein farm was bought at auction by a private buyer who spent the next several years tearing down the barn and other outbuildings, planting trees, and trying to erase the memory of what happened there. Today, nothing remains of the Gein house, at least above ground. Yeah. But some believe Gein's evil spirit still haunts the vacant land.
He does.
There's a lot of spirits on that property.
Oh God, yeah.
Y'all, this is some crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. All right, so that is given a little scroll through. Let's see if I can get it. And you can see, wait, what's that?
I don't know. Something came up.
But you can see the little house. I mean, it's just, a little farmhouse.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can see the property, and you see he was isolated. He was weird. He was socially inept. He learned some strange things, and he just added his little. Yes, Randy said, I still want to remote that location.
Yes, we all.
Randy, why don't you call us, get back in touch with us? Let's see if we can, I don't know, find some way to connect. But I'm trying really hard to swallow. I'm drinking.
I actually have remoted location that place before.
Yeah.
Like 3 times.
How did it go, Blaine? How did it go?
Well, there, like you said, there was a lot of death on that property.
Yeah.
Not just what Ed had done, but other people that have lived on that land, going back as far as the natives that lived there. The whole tribe was slaughtered on that property. Excuse me. Several other people have died there, and the Geins were the original owners of the farm. There was a family that built the farm in the late 1800s, and of course they all died on the property. And then the Geins took it over probably about 1901, 1902.
You hear Luna. She's excited to see you, and she's
sorry.
Why are you doing that? She had ice cream today. She thinks she's a hot toddy. Oh, yes. Merry Christmas.
Luna just wanted to do Blaine's voice.
Yeah, she loves Blaine.
Poor Blaine.
Just kidding.
I know.
It's all good. Ain't nothing I can do. So.
All right, what we seeing now? What we got? Oh, no. Here we go.
Oh, there we go. The skin gloves.
Ooh. Wow. That's one poem I wouldn't want to read. No.
The precision that he did this with skin. You think about it, when we have a sunburn and we peel our skin, how do you oh my God.
I mean, look at it. It's actually pretty good.
You'd have to cut that
And
thing
look,
all
he's
the way
even
down.
taken the dart over to the side so it'll open better.
Yeah.
I mean, he put a lot of.
He
Y'all,
had to
this is
cut that
gross.
down almost to the bone.
I got to go back and look at this thing because Blaine pointed out that was Ed.
Look at the far
Yes.
right.
Oh yeah, it is
Yeah.
his picture.
Right there. There's a
Yep.
picture of himself over to the side next. Yeah.
No, here.
Next to the spoon.
Yep, to the far right side.
Yeah.
See
But
it?
That's weird.
Yeah, I see it.
that is weird. It's like,
Yeah. But look how his eyes dip. The skin mask
Yes.
almost has the same eye dip as he has in the
it
picture.
does, doesn't it?
Was he trying
Right.
to cover him? That's a psychosis right there. You don't like yourself so much that you put the mask on. What
Yes.
people do when they're depressed, they put a mask on, they pretend they're okay.
Yeah.
And maybe he was trying to make himself feel okay with that type of mask. It almost looks the same. That's probably why the picture's right next to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they posed that after they found all the stuff, or
Yeah,
is that the
no.
photo when they went into the house? So and didn't move anything.
So here he is, his last. This is the only surviving,
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'd call it an artifact. And this is at the museum in Savannah, Georgia.
Yep.
So there's a lock of someone's hair, and there it is. So here is the newspaper clipping: 10 skulls found in House of Horror. Handyman is grilled by DA. So this is what you were saying, Tom, that he was just a little man, and
Yeah,
was
he was only
everybody's-
maybe about 5'6".
Yeah, he was small.
Yeah, he was a small man. He wasn't very big. That's why a lot of them think, how did this guy do this stuff? You know, he had a murder victim up like you're splitting a deer, you know, and how does he do this? And him being a handyman, I think that's the only job he can do, because
Yeah.
he'd go in and do a job and get out. He didn't have to be really amongst people because of his social awkwardness.
Well, you
But
know,
he knew a lot about the people's houses and
Well,
who
you
was
know-
who and who was what.
yeah, you know, Billy Bob Thornton actually used Ed Gein as his source for Sling Blade.
Yeah, because of that mentality.
Yeah.
You know, Ed Gein really was maybe talked like on a 4th, 5th grade level.
if that.
Well, you know, when I did Repossessed, we went to a prison, and there was a guy there that was a handyman that was tried at the prison,
Mhm.
and he did something similar.
Really
Yep.
very
And-
interesting. You know, the jobs you would choose.
And he's a little fella. He's a
Yeah.
very slight fella, and he wasn't very good at his job. And a priest basically took him in and was trying to help him find work and stuff. And there was a case in Anderson, South Carolina that we were working. God, that's been 10, 12 years ago, wasn't it, Matt? There was a lady that had hired a handyman, and she owned 28 rental houses. And he was cutting her grass and doing things in the properties, you know, and things. And he said he was in love with her. And she said, no. And he finally went in to her home, broke in on her, and stabbed her 28 times.
Yeah.
And everybody was saying, you know, how did he overpower her? Well, she was an older lady,
Yeah.
and he was in his early 30s, but he was only about 5'5".
Yeah.
So that's two that we've dealt with. Just weird. Okay, so we have a question here. Randy wants to know, Thomas, what got you interested in this?
I'm retired law enforcement. I was a criminal behaviorist in the state of Florida. So I dealt with a lot of inmates where I had to learn how to profile them in case something happened at the prison or anything in our jurisdiction. I've always been interested in the past. You know, I'm a big mystery, solve it, murder guy and all. I've always been that way. And I think that's what led me to my position down there because of that. But now in my retirement from that, I profile historic serial killers. I really look into these cases. I do have people that send me stuff. What do you think of this cold case? What do you think of that cold case? just to get a read on it and all that. There's a lot of people out there, but there isn't really anybody that's could say, oh, I work as a profiler. That's not really what it is. You know, you're a forensic psychologist. You're dealing with the human mind and all that type
Yep.
of stuff. But you know, that's the things that you learn. The BSU, and I know we're going to have an episode, so make sure you watch about the start of the BSU, the Behavioral Science Unit, and all those things. We're going to have an episode about that, which I know we've talked about, just so people know how people like myself and all these people that came way before me, how they look at things and how this has helped as a tool to law enforcement. It isn't a solution, it's a tool to be able to figure out what's going on.
Randy's saying, if you ever need a psychic, there it is.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go, Randy. He's saying, if you ever need a psychic, call me.
Yeah.
Well, you got three sitting on the
Yes,
show
we
with
got
you.
three right
Yeah,
here.
well, you got three shaman and an intuitive on the show right now. So.
Yep, and we have worked missing persons cases.
Yes.
Yep.
Yours
Yeah,
is coming.
I get called. I still get called for a lot of stuff to get the opinion on it and all that.
Yeah, I do
I
too.
wish I was more free, and you know, if it paid more money and all that, and I could retire from what I'm doing now, I'd love to do it. But
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
This is
I
more
want
of
to
a
help
labor
people.
of love
Yes,
than it
it
is.
Well, it is. You guys got to understand. You know, you guys know me for a little while. I'm very simple. When I go into the paranormal, anything that I do, all I'm doing, want to do is help the client and help spirit. That's it. Anything else that comes beyond it, being on a show like this, it stems from that. You know, your ego goes away and you're here to help,
Yep.
you know, the living and the dead. That's all it's all about. And with us talking about Ed Gein today, you know, it goes even beyond that. When people watch this show and they see what we're talking about and they're learning, like we talked about before, it's not saying, oh, Ed Gein's so cool and all this other stuff. No, it's for you to learn. It is for you to learn what to look out for, especially with your children growing up. What are they doing? Can you help redirect your child so that potential doesn't happen? I'm not saying all kids are that do what they do are going to end up being serial killers, but there is a way to recognize it as we talk and you listen.
Yes.
Or as people get older, what to look out for, like you guys ran into when you called me from Savannah, the weird guy that you ran into. Oh, yeah. But I think you guys thought differently after all of our conversations we had.
Yes.
You know, it's one of those things.
So
we're here to keep you safe, you know?
So we have the psychological profiles. We've got the behavioral patterns, victimology, and that is my one focus. Okay.
Yeah.
The sociological insight. And we discuss this on every show.
Yeah.
Yes.
We talk about the forensic and investigative techniques and then prevention and public safety awareness. Now, when we were in Savannah, Georgia, we went to a beautiful area that was by a body of water. And we felt like we were being watched. And we turned and we saw a man staring at us. And it wasn't like he was staring at us like, oh, gaze upon these beautiful ladies. No, it was like, I'm hungry.
Well, you are beautiful ladies.
Thank you. But it was you know, it was definitely something else.
And before I could make him out as a person, I knew he was watching.
Yeah.
It was so far. He had been watching us so far.
It felt more like an animal watching.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to the zoo a lot. I worked with my dad in animal institution, you know, studying and things like that. Yes. And I have felt a panther stare like that. Yeah. And that is very similar to what that felt like. And it was a very disturbing thing. She saw him first and I was like, baby, why are you upset? We're all here with you. And I was trying to rationalize, but then when I turned and saw him, I was like, oh. And I just, you know, he was so blatantly staring at Gwen that I just went, I just leaned in front like that. And I looked at him like, what? Yeah. You know, and he,
they went into the restaurant and did not even eat.
Yeah, went into the restaurant, sat down, ordered water. I saw that because I went in the bathroom. She went with me.
Yeah.
Well, I went with her. And then
Yeah.
whenever we came out, I could see him doing this. I came out from behind the wall and I locked eyes with him. He was going. And then when he saw me do that, he was like, oh, like a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when he
But
saw her, even
that's
though
where the
I was
word,
standing
that's
there.
where the word comes from. That stare of feeling like somebody's watching you.
Yeah.
That's why they call these people predators.
Yes.
It's the animalistic predator stare. That's the things you guys got to look out for. Anybody watching the show, those are the things. You know when somebody's just staring at you, they're flirting with you. But when they're staring at you in that predatory way, that's when you need to go the other way. So.
Exactly.
Well, I like to figure out the triggers occasionally, but now that I'm the age that I don't care what their trigger is. I care about how they operate, how they escalate, because that's where I need to be able to identify their personality disorder or mental illness and then behave and react to it.
Right.
The big thing is victimology. And I think all of you watching, please, if you are watching this show and you enjoy other victim, true crime, types of things, the truth is you're fascinated that these people can get away with this stuff. And you're trying to figure out the target victim. Now, when we talked about Sam Little, we talked about people that had a pretty open life, that lived a risky lifestyle. And so they were very easy to prey on. Now, when we were talking about Pam Hupp, she was trying her best to, she was a victim. She was looking for victims of opportunity. It seemed random, but she had something she was trying to do. And so she was picking people that were easy prey in order to wrap them up into her drama to get the, so that was her. What do you call that? Modus operandi.
MO.
Okay.
MO.
Yeah. So those of you watching, look for victimology. Because if we had been alone and we were not aware, because see, we're doing this show and now we are aware. My husband has made me aware. He's made me able to defend myself. Because I'm so nice. When I was learning martial arts, I didn't really want to hit anybody or hurt anybody. And if I learned the katas and whatever else, I'd win a trophy. And that's all that, that's great. I needed to learn to beat the shit out of someone. Okay.
You need throat punch him. You 8 pounds of pressure to the throat.
You need to dirty chop him and then you kick him and punch him in the face. Yeah.
Let me tell you guys something. It's easier said than done.
It is.
It is very easier said than done. Talking to somebody that I've had to defend myself in some pretty scary situations in my lifetime. And it is easier said than done. Even, weapons and things like that, having to fire off a shot in a stressful situation. That's why you train, and that's why we do these shows, so we could show you guys this is the mentality of people. You need to take in, I know this is a podcast and all that, but things with our background, with my background, I'm giving you information. This is what it's all about.
This isn't just for entertainment, folks. I wouldn't waste my time.
No, but the thing is somebody like Ed Gein. You got to be careful with certain people, and and all the other people we've talked about, and the things they're able to do. Like Charles Manson had a whole group of people believing him. You don't know, and you have to have the antenna come up.
Well, first of all, you have to face the reality.
The right decision for yourself.
You have to face the reality that serial killers exist. You don't have to know what their trigger is, but there's so many things that are happening in life that are so horrible, so sad, and so sick that it's creating these things.
Yeah.
Also, I want to talk a bit about, the cultural and society, the factors of that, how they're able to get away with it. A guy like Gein had to have the ability to isolate himself so he'd have enough space and privacy to tear him up like that. Okay. But Dahmer didn't have that.
Mm-mm.
And he made a mess of himself, and you see what a stinky mess he made.
Yes, he did.
But please realize, if you have overalls on, if you have your hair in a ponytail, if you're parking your car in an isolated manner because you don't want it to get banged up, your ponytail is something that can be grabbed, and an animal can use that as a leash. Okay. Same with overalls. Listen, the first thing you do if somebody tries to grab you, whatever you do, do not leave with them. I don't care what they're trying to do. Sit on the ground and piss your pants.
Yep.
Tell them you've got AIDS.
Yep.
Do everything you can not to leave that scene, because if they get that privacy and they're sick, individual, they're going to have the time to do the things they do.
Already done it while you're there.
Right.
Yeah.
So Randy's saying, yes, we definitely should visit the Grave Face Museum in Savannah. That is actually where this object is.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was going to try to talk. Yeah, it's a lock of hair.
Yeah, but
she had beautiful long hair.
She had long hair.
I was going to talk about something else, but I'm, in addition to it, I was going to go into something a little longer, but I'm not going to do it at the moment because we've only got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we got another. I think that what I know you want to talk about, I think, is another episode. Yes. But just so you guys know really quickly, being in crisis management and all that, you have power over your captor or anything like that. The one thing you want to do is, with all your might and with all your power and whatever you could do, find out what their name is.
Yep.
Once you know their name, you have power over them. Mm-hmm. When people hear their name or anything like that, and especially if somebody has that power over you, there is something almost like figuring out what their psychosis is and almost using it against them. If you know the name, like somebody like Ed Gein, if I knew that he had that obsession with his mother, I would use his mother against him.
What would your mother say about you? Shame on you.
Exactly.
Anything.
Yeah, your mother is ashamed of you for doing this. So you have to take that power back. It's all about control in those situations when somebody is. There is.
Here we go. Sean says, I learned in boxing and martial arts, when you control the head, you control the body. And that's what I mean. Thank you, Sean. I was trying to say that and the words weren't coming to me. But I will tell you this.
Oh, and my brothers, because I had two older brothers, fight dirty. Do anything. Yeah. Use anything.
I'm going to tell you something right now is once you take somebody's breath away, that's it.
Yep.
If they can't breathe, they can't do anything against you. So, that's what it is. So,
if they can't breathe, can't see, you did your job.
Take it from somebody that trained professionals in the business to, do those types of things. If your life is in danger, that use of force matrix of certain people, if, like for Lee, for Gwen, when somebody's bigger than you, you have the right of that use of force matrix to use deadly force, as opposed to Blaine, who's a bigger person, may not be able to, by law, use that type of deadly force.
Alabama, I can shoot him dead.
That come into mind, So
see, I don't live in one of those little sissy states. State Alabama, I can drop you where you stand. So
exactly, but that's the thing is
I'm talking to
the people that are trying to do good. When you want to do good and you want to get out of it and you don't want to go to court and go to jail, then use that use of force matrix.
Well, now if we stop and think about it, the men that and women that we've discussed in these scenarios, they're ones that we might look at and say, who would have ever thought? That's why they are what they are. Because they were never seen or heard. melted into the woodwork of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to stand out. So the way that I survived a situation is I made him feel like I cared about him.
Mhm.
And I told him that, if he didn't let me go, that he would be killed. And I couldn't live with that. And that I had to talk. My mother told me from the time I was little that you can always outsmart a crazy person.
Yeah.
And just listen to your instinct and God, and you'll find, where you'll be able to find where their weakness is. And his was that he wanted somebody to care about him and love him. And so, things that I said and did, and talked about I talked him up. A lot of things I said that I've had to live with because he really is a very nauseating person that did a lot of very awful things. But my point is, what you say, what you do to survive, there's a day that you have to go back and sort through those emotions. And people may even judge you for saying and doing things. Well, if you must have wanted it or something because of the things that you said and whatnot, you brought it on yourself. Well, I'm here to tell you that if you're in a situation where it's life or death, and you've said and done things that you've had to do in order to survive, and or you've had to fight for your life, it's one of those things where, just like if anybody has anything to say about the job you're doing or the hobbies that you have, it takes a lot of maturity for you to say, if you're not paying my bills for me, then you really don't get to speak into my life.
Yep.
And with this, I'm saying I did what I had to do. I'm here to tell the story. You don't get to speak into my life because you weren't there. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, but when
Thomas,
you're in court, it is horrible because the prosecution is going to try to make you into that person. And that's how it spins out of control. And, I really feel like something needs to be done. We need more victims advocate programs that
Oh, I
are
agree.
more efficient.
Yeah.
Because you said a while back that we would see how many serial killers in our lifetime?
33.
33.
33. Well, I did a little research, and it said that estimates suggest that there may be dozens of serial killers at any given time.
Oh, yeah.
Though the exact number varies, but the FBI and criminologists estimate there's anywhere from 25 to 50 serial killers in the United States at any given moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a very big release day before yesterday about the serial killers that are probably truck drivers that go from location to location.
Makes sense.
They're also the ones
There's the
that
railroads, trucks.
right, and you can kill them, abduct them in one area, kill them in another area, and then dump them in another
Somewhere else,
area. So it has to be all connected. And but now our software programs are allowing us to be able to do that within the police. They have between the FBI. But here's the thing: in the Native American tribes, being that they're their own nation, they don't have the access to those other police software programs like APHIS and things like that.
Well, you're talking VICAP, the
Yes,
violent.
yes, thank you. That's it.
Yeah.
So there's a problem there because there's so much property and very few police officers, and they don't have the backup, and they don't have the software.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore it crosses from one state to another nation.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's how things are falling apart for the women and the youth of our indigenous tribes. If you see an indigenous person with a hand like this that's painted red over their face, that is in memory of someone that has
Yes.
been killed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Please understand that if you see me in regalia, that is my regalia. I have earrings for that. It was part of a program to raise money for the tribe to be able to afford the things they need to be able to research. There's family that has been searching for years, going through the tribal lands looking for their loved ones remains.
Yeah. But that's what it is. We're, all of us being shamans and stuff like that. Those are the things that we see. It isn't all about. It's about us as human beings and all
Yep.
that. And some people are forgotten. And being a shaman and just being in tune with everything, whether it be nature, whether it be animals, whatever, But the thing is we forget about certain people. Again, we talked about, oh, they're a prostitute. Oh, we'll just forget about them. Everybody is a human being. They're on this earth for a purpose, but it's not up to you. It's not you that should make the decision to take their purpose away. And that's the biggest thing. And I know we've gotten into a different conversation. I know we were talking about Ed Gein, but this is what it's about. We're doing this program, this 8-week program. Like these guys, like Lee and Gwen, what they went through down in Savannah, just any of you in general, just going to the store and just being careful of who you talk to and what they're delivering and how they say it, the look in their eye, that animalistic look, that predatory look, to be careful of. We're teaching you as we do this program about this stuff. I've been involved with this stuff for years. And my main thing is, like I've said before, I want to keep people safe. I want parents to learn what to look out for with their kids, to get them the help to change those things and all that. So, that's a big thing.
Cats walking around the back of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shane.
That's a good sign right there. So.
Yeah. Sean was saying I was sprayed in the face with mace before, and all he could see was shadows holding on to the person that attacked him. But luckily, his martial arts training came back to him, and he ended up getting out of it all right. But yes, you're right. All lives matter. Yeah. And most of the spirits, just like Randy has said here, he's saying that all lives matter, but also the spirits that he come in contact with just want to be remembered.
Sure.
But I have had several spirits that were rapists that were hung.
Yep.
And they don't want to cross over into judgment, but they also wanted to have power. They wanted control over the situation. And so with that, I just had to let them know you're not in control. You're never going to be in control again.
Nope.
And
we do have to deal with that as being what we are, being shamans, being, feeling those types of feelings. I deal with this all the time. Like I've told you guys before, my purpose in life is to help the living and the dead.
Thank you.
And that's what the flame is said, and me too.
I want to hear their story.
Thank you.
I'm not in this business to say, oh yeah, I'm going to just move you along. I want to know your story.
Thank you.
Who has a spirit? Tell me your story. Exactly. What is keeping you here? What is your trauma? Let's come to terms with that.
Yeah.
Whether you're a serial killer, whether you did something wrong and all that, your fear, let me level you up.
Yep.
And you meet whatever on the other side is what you need to meet,
Yeah, Sean's got another message here. He's saying that there are some of those spirits hold on to other spirits that they control and live off their fears.
And we have got rid of several of those that like to hold on. And
we need to talk about that. Look,
Sean, it's a whole show. It's a whole show.
Sean, whenever we have, I know that Gwen knows how to get you. I'd like for you to come on the show with
Yeah.
me
Oh,
and
definitely.
Blaine and Tom when we do Family Spirit as well, because that is
Yep.
a whole nother can that we
Yep.
need to
It
crack
is. It's
open.
definitely the shaman world is when you die pure.
Yeah.
But sometimes your trauma holds on to you. That's the cord you have to cut.
Yes,
I've
you
seen
do.
it. I've seen it appear on an SLS camera where I'm trying to help somebody pass along. They want to leave, but as soon as I give them that opportunity, the shadow comes in and it picks up on the SLS camera. It's holding that trauma's holding you. Cut the cord. That's
Yep.
the whole thing of that you have to deal with the spirit world.
Take the power
You don't
away.
know. Yeah,
Yep.
it's incredibly tough sometimes, but
Yeah.
you have to work at it. You have to do your due diligence. You have to help. That spirit world. They don't know. They're stuck.
Randy
Us
said
as-
that's a
we have to do that.
whole General Jackson showboat. He's right.
Yeah.
It is
Now,
definitely.
Thomas-
Wow, we've got an
Thomas,
incredible chat going tonight. Thank you all for watching so
Yes, thank you.
much.
hey, Thomas, just to let you know, if I have to, I can throw these hands, so I can defend myself.
Oh heck yeah! I'm doing it physically and spiritually. I'll tell you
Me
that.
too. I know.
I know.
You
I
guys are the
got you,
best.
Blaine. I know both of us are that same mentality. All of us. So.
Well, it's about time to end the show, and I'm going to do my last message that I did
Yeah.
before. Here we
We gotta
are.
wait for Ed Gein, but hey.
Yeah, I know. That's all right. Most of my life, I felt alone, even when I was with people. That was until I met you. You, and you. All of you watching, we found our tribe. Let's
Yes.
stick with it. Let's hold them tight and love them hard. We're all here together. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to help people, living and dead. I have said 1,000 times, and Blaine as well. All of us.
Yeah, all of
We have said healing comes in all stages of life, including death. You're
Yep.
not alone. We love you. And okay, so Sean is saying I've been taking shaman classes for over a year and a half. So
Yeah.
yes, you are. What? Oh my goodness, Kathy. I was almost abducted when I was 9 or 10 years old. Thank you for the show series on serial killers. Kathy, you're welcome. Ed Gein is a mess. I'm sure he had a terrible childhood, and it sure didn't make for a great adult. But
Nope.
maybe
Yeah.
now that he's dead, and God has sorted it out.
Well, just think, next
Randy,
week.
we will absolutely. And the last thing,
Quickly,
Yes.
one thing we didn't talk about.
yes,
Ed Gein, his brother, died mysteriously, and Ed knew right where his body was.
Of course.
he did. Yeah.
There was a fire. There was a field fire, and they found his body, which makes me think it wasn't proven, but that gives you a third. So
I
I'm
believe
in
that.
my mind,
I believe it did.
technically,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Ed
agree.
Gein is actually a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, y'all, I think we only got 3 episodes left.
I know, but I
Yeah.
do want you guys to know Tom has agreed to stay on with All Access Network TV. Yes, he's going to stay on, and he'll be bringing his people over.
Yeah.
And then Blaine and I will be doing Family Spirit International. Obviously, we would love to have Sean on, and Randy, we'd love to have you. There's a lot of people that we've met through this whole process.
We'll get them booked up.
Yep. We've learned a lot, and I really feel like this was one of the best things. Yes, we've got you, Randy.
Yeah. All right. Who's
Yeah.
next? Let's tell them who's next.
Yes, who's next?
Let's see. We going with Elaine Warnos, or we going with Shorty, or we going
We got a
with
lot of different people we could do. I
Or-
think we.
or
What do
we're
we
doing
have?
Ted Bundy.
Hold on.
Well, we know who
What do
we
you
want
think?
to do.
Somebody chime in really quick. Who's watching still? Chime in really quick. What do you want to hear about? Your favorite serial killer of all time. So,
Yeah. Let's look.
Behavioral analysis, right?
Ted Bundy.
yeah. Well, that's more of the,
They're saying.
Hold on.
because we're talking about serial and murderers. We're talking about historic.
So, What
Your Lizzie Borden's, your
Yeah.
H.H. Holmes, your
we talk about the killers, serial
Ted
killers who
Bundy.
influenced
Yeah.
the development of the BAU. We talked about Edmund Kemper. I
Yep.
think the next person was John Wayne Gacy. I think we need
Oh
to
my
talk
God.
about
We
him.
got to do John Wayne.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we got to do
definitely
Ted
got to do the
Bundy.
killer clown. the killer
Yes.
clown.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my God,
Gary
there's
Ridgway.
so much.
I've got questions
Yeah.
about
Oh,
Gary
I know.
Ridgway.
Yeah, I know a lot about Gary
Okay.
Ridgway. He's a dumbass,
Yeah.
but
He is.
Did you guys know that Gary Ridgway, that Ted Bundy, when he was in prison, helped the BSU?
yes, he did.
Yes.
He
He sure did.
profiled Gary Ridgway himself, and when
Yeah.
Gary Ridgway was caught years later, 2001, Bundy has already been put to death. But Bundy's his thing was right on the button. So
Oh yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I
All
do.
right, so John
do
Wayne
wanna make
Gacy
sure-
it is.
I sure want to make sure we do
Killer
Bundy.
Clown, baby. That's
Ooh.
gonna make some.
Oh.
John Wayne Gacy says it all, and I think John Wayne Gacy, when we talk about it, it's gonna lead into the BSU.
Yeah.
And, another episode that we're gonna have and all that. This could go on for more than 8 weeks, but
Yes.
It
we're
could
sticking
go
to
on
that.
any
But we'll
time,
come up with
any
other
time.
stuff. Yeah.
I would love
can.
to cover the BAU, and of course, I would like to do something with Pee Wee Gaskin because I took her by the
Yeah.
location.
And
Yeah.
we're gonna do some
We're going to do some.
video and
Well,
Yeah.
I think Pee Wee Gaskin should be our last episode
As
because
long as I get to do Ted Bundy
he's part
before
of your
we get to
guys where you
Steve.
guys live. So
So, how many we have left?
a
We got
lot.
three.
three.
Let's not put a number. Let's just say when we get done, we're done.
Yeah,
We're not,
oh,
we're
Lord.
not. Let's just keep it going until we want
as
to.
long as
I-
people love it, let's
I-
just keep doing it, and then
I
go from
still,
there.
I still want a Ted Bundy because that's like.
I'm
the most
with
important-
Oh my
you.
God, yeah.
I do too. But I
There's a
got
lot.
questions
There's a lot to
about.
unwrap right there, man.
Oh.
So there's so many of these people.
I know
Yeah.
a lot of detail about Bundy and a lot
Yeah.
of detail
We got
about
to do all those. So next
Well-
week is one more time.
John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne
John
Gacy.
Wayne
Killer
Gacy. Make sure you guys
Clown.
join
Oh,
us
and I hate clowns.
because that
And
one,
I'll tell you
that
why.
one is
next
one of
week.
my specialties. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you some insight on clowns when we do the show next week.
oh
There
my
you go.
God,
All right.
there's some stuff that people don't even know about that I'm gonna blow your minds with next week. And yeah, make sure you
Open
tune in.
season till all covered.
There
Thank you,
go.
Sean.
There you go. All right, everybody. I got a show at 10:30.
So I want to say
Ooh.
this.
Join that too. Yeah.
Merry Christmas from All Access
Yes.
Network Television.
Yes.
Happy
Merry
Hanukkah,
Happy
Happy
Hanukkah.
winter
Happy
solstice.
New Year.
Happy Festive.
Happy Festivus for the rest of us.
Yep.
Christmas.
There you go.
We covered
Yeah, I love you
everybody.
guys.
And let's see. Thank you for watching. And we're out.
Bye.